What's up, squad? Rod here, back with another video. Today's video, I am going to do some paint correction on the Redeye. What I started to notice after washing the car over and over, you know, trying to make sure that it's show quality kind of paint. Starting to see more swirl marks in the paint. You know, as I wash it, I see swirl marks. So what I want to try to do today is, this is my first time, not an expert. And as you know, I'm gonna do it myself before I pay somebody to do it. But what I want to do is I want to go ahead and at least attempt to try to do some paint correction. There are two products that I'm probably going to use. I'm gonna see which one works best. I'll use one product on maybe the quarter panel, and then I'll use the other product on probably the back door. And I just want to see which one gives me the best results. And whichever one gives me the best results is the one I'm going to recommend. And I will start using it moving forward. But just to show you guys a few things that you need, you're going to need, well, what I have, I don't know, there's so many different ways to do these things. What I have is an orbital polisher. I have an LED light. It helps, it really helps with showing the swirl marks in your paint. I have a polishing pad cleaner. You know what? How about I just show y'all? Yeah, so here's my setup. As I mentioned, I have an LED light that I'm going to use. I'm going to shine some light on the car. This is going to help me see where the swirl marks are, and once I'm done, where the swirl marks come out. Secondly, the products on the left side of this is from Chemical Guys. I have their polish and pad cleaner. I have their precision paint perfection polish. They recommended this. They said this one cuts down the paint correction time. We'll see what happens. I have the clean slate. Now this is to go ahead and remove any wax, oils, and kind of any chemicals on the car. That way when you start polishing and waxing, or buffing, some people call it, you won't have to worry about scarring up your paint with any of those impurities. Now the best part about it all is, I always thought that clay bar in a car was hard. Well, it's not, right? You get a small bar here. I'll show you backwards. You can't really see. I'll open it. It's really not. You have a bar here. It's wrapped in plastic, and what you want to do is you want to cut this into 4 squares, or maybe less, depending on the size of the vehicle and what you're about to treat. And once you do that, you pretty much, it's like Play-Doh. And then you just, you know, it's tacky. And I'll show you real quick. Crap, I didn't mean to do that. So I'll take the paper off of that. So obviously you can tell it's tacky. So what you're gonna do is you just, you know, spread it out a little bit. And then you have the clay lube. Now once that car is decontaminated, what the clay bar is supposed to do, this is supposed to remove any kind of impurities in, like, on the top of your paint. So any kind of like debris, rocks, stuff that just typically doesn't come out with the regular wash, this is going to get it out, trust me. So what you want to do is you want to spray it on the car. Spray. You do not want to rub this clay bar on any part of your car or the paint without having some of this clay lube on there. Trust me, I did it. What it did was it like scarred the paint or the clear coat, and you have to go ahead and buff that out as well. So in order to reduce your time, you might want to just spray this on those areas, and then, you know, use the clay bar, go across. You know, you want to go that way, cross. You just want to cross itself as much as you can to get that done. So yeah, so this is what I use. And then also I have a medium size Hex Logic pad from Chemical Guys. This here is supposed to help cut into the paint, or the clear coat. It's supposed to cut. It does a little cutting to get the swirl marks out of your paint and your clear coat. So we'll see if this one works. I think this one will work, but also, and I'll put this down too. I'll set that on top of that. Also, what we have is, we have over here Majestic Solutions. They're good. They're just as good, if not better. We're going to see today. Today's going to actually be the day that I make a decision on which one is better when it comes to doing paint correction, and which one is easier to use. So here for this side, we have the Decon Lube. So this is pretty much the same thing, right? The decontamination lube. You use this right alongside with your clay bar. Instead of spraying the clay luber, they call it decon lube. Here, instead of the precision paint perfection polish, we actually have, it's called CP2 cut and polish, and it's graded. Here, the cut, it's about up to a 5 in a cut and a 6 in a gloss. I was told that's really good, so we're gonna see what that does for me. Probably use this product on the door, and this is just some surface prep. I'm pretty sure you can probably use this on any and everything, whether you're doing tent lights or whatever, but that's not what we're doing here. This is for the car. And I bought 2 of the pads from them. It's called Eurotech Ultimate Removal Orbital Foam Pad. So it's recommended that for each, you break the car down into 4 squares, right? So for each corner of the car, you're supposed to use 1 pad. Well, I only have 3. I don't think the pad's gonna make that much of a difference, but I only have 3. And while I'm working with another pad, I'm gonna clean the other pad that I used previously. I'm gonna clean that off, let it air dry, and then I'll use the other 2. And then by the time I'm done on, you know, when I'm done and onto the 4th corner of the car, that first pad probably will be done. What's critical here is I have this orbital polisher from Torque. I believe Chemical Guys sell this. I got this from Amazon. I'll drop a link in my bio, in my description for all of this stuff. Like every last thing up here, I'm gonna drop a link. That way you guys can go out, purchase your stuff, and get to doing this yourself. Now something like this typically costs, what? Costs maybe about, to get paint correction, $1,500. If I had to guess on how much I paid, well, we still have prices on these things, right? Clay bar luber, $10. $13 each for the clay bars. I don't know, this one probably was like another $10, $12. Same for these. So I'm probably looking at a total of maybe $200 for everything. Well, including everything here, probably $350. But still, I'm saving $1,200 if it was a $1,500 to $2,000 job. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to applying this. I'll show you guys the steps on what to do first, and then I'll get into seeing what works, you know. So I'll get the light hooked up here in just a second. Stay tuned. So for me, the first step is getting some of that clean slate in the bucket with a rag, and another bucket with just water in it to kind of rinse it off. Yeah, so pretty much use that. Wash the car with the clean slate. You'll see it take, if you have a wax on your car, you'll see that it takes the wax off right away. You won't get any beads into the paint. So you'll see that right away. And then you wash it real good with this, and then you follow up with, you know, the water, rag and water, get it off, and then a towel to dry it off. For each section of the car that I'm gonna go to, that's how I'm gonna treat it. I am not gonna wash the car entirely, because let's say I wash it, and then by the time I get to the other side, there may be some contaminants on the car, and I'm gonna have to wash it and do it again. So I'm gonna work on each side this way, in a controlled way, and we're gonna move forward with that. Precision Paint Perfection Polish on the passenger back door. So what you want to do is you want to kind of get like 6 dime size up to 7, 1 in the middle. Hey, 1 for good luck. Lucky 7, right? You want to do 6 dime size what am I going to say? 6 dime size portions of that that P4, and then what you're going to do is you're going to gently just tap it onto the door. That's all you're going to do. That way when we get to these parts of the door, we don't concern ourselves with burning the paint in any way. And I'm no expert. This is my first time doing this. I just did research on this. So first thing I'm going to do is, and if you have one of these torque guns, we're going to start it at a 1 setting. I'm going to spread it evenly, and then I'm going to move it to a 3 setting, which is about 1500 RPM. So let's do it. Alright, another thing that I did research and find out was when using this, you don't want to apply pressure to it. You want to let the weight of the gun, of the orbital polisher, to glide across the paint. The reason you don't want to put pressure on it is because you can then begin to heat up spots that you don't want to, and that'll eventually burn the paint, and you don't want to do that. If you're watching this far into this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. All of that good stuff works for me, works for you. I'm going to continue to keep this content going. Like I said before, this car is done. When this car is done, it's going to be all done by me. Everything, as much as I can within my capabilities and my abilities. And yeah, so I'm about to ramp this up to 1500 RPMs, and I'm going to go ahead and make a path that way, and then I'm going to make a vertical path on it as well. Kind of cut into it. Make sure we get everything. Now I'm going to grab a microfiber cloth, wipe it off. We're going to see what it looks like. Alright guys, that's pretty much what it takes to do some paint correction. Now this is my first time doing it. I'm sure tomorrow in the sunlight I'll see some areas where I probably need to touch up on, which is cool. It is what it is. First time doing it. It's a lot of learning when you do things for the first time. So yeah, but I mean the car is glowing right now. I mean, to the point where I'm ready to throw a ceramic coat on here, but I don't have time. I'm exhausted. This took at least 3 hours. At least 3 hours. Well, probably a little less, but 3 hours, taking your time, doing it right, make sure that you have everything you need. Yeah, so I'm done with this video. Tap in with me. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video. I'm going to also put on the message board. I think there's a community board that I have now. I'm going to put something out there where you guys come tell me what you want to see. You know, whether it's rolls, races, more mods, whatever it may be. Just tell me what you want to see. You want me to talk about something and, you know, particular, let me know. I like to think that I'm well versed with, you know, the knowledge that I do have from the experience that from the experiences that I've like pretty much have gone through or even obtained over a period of this life. So tap in with me, like I said. Peace out.